Paramount Pictures is still committed to the G.I. Joe movie franchise, and they are actively working on the fourth installment. The last movie in the series was released in 2021. Let's take a moment to recap the previous film in the franchise. It all began in 2009 with the release of the first G.I. Joe movie titled Rise of Cobra. While it didn't meet all expectations, it featured stars like Channing Tatum, Dennis Quaid, and Marlon Wayans. 4 years later, Retaliation hit the screens, featuring Dwayne Johnson and Bruce Willis. Then in 2021, Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins was released, intending to reboot the series but falling short of expectations and facing box office challenges, even though it featured stars like Henry Golding and Ursula Corbero. So, despite some shortcomings, the franchise has garnered a solid fanbase worldwide. However, it's important to note that Snake Eyes didn't perform as well as expected at the box office, grossing only $40 million with a production budget of $88 to $110 million. Despite its struggles, it attempted to revamp the series by focusing on the backstory of the beloved character Snake Eyes and his quest for revenge. The story involved a mystical talisman, the Jewel of the Sun, and brought various characters into play, including Baroness, a Cobra agent. The G.I. Joe franchise has seen several attempts at sequels, with a movie tentatively titled Ever Vigilant planned even before Snake Eyes in 2013. There was another attempt with a release scheduled for 2020, but due to the COVID-19 pandemic, plans were postponed. As of May 2021, there were multiple scripts for a sequel, but the release date remained uncertain. The team behind the potential fourth movie included director DJ Caruso and writers Josh Applebaum and Aaron Berg. The producers are likely to be cautious this time, given the challenges faced by Snake Eyes at the box office. In terms of the cast, it's unclear who will return for the next film. There are rumors about Dwayne Johnson reprising his role as Roadblock and Channing Tatum returning as Duke. However, Johnson's busy schedule may pose a challenge. While the franchise previously featured big names, this time they might opt for a fresh approach to ensure success. Regarding the plot of the next movie, it's unclear whether it will be a sequel to Snake Eyes or follow events from The Rise of Cobra and Retaliation. If it continues the Snake Eyes storyline, we can expect Snake Eyes to take down Cobra and Storm Shadow while reviving his father's legacy, who was revealed to be a G.I. Joe in the previous film. The writers, Joey Sharpnell and Anna Waterhouse, are tasked with expanding the G.I. Joe universe in the sequel. Additionally, there's speculation about a spin-off series based on the G.I. Joe franchise, with Amazon Prime Video planning to introduce Lady J as a central character. Larry Hama, the creator of the Snake Eyes character in the comics, believes that the franchise has set up elements to be explored in future sequels. He mentioned the teasing of a bigger universe with characters like Scarlet and Baroness. Lastly, there is a possibility that Paramount could unite two Hasbro brands, Transformers and G.I. Joe, in a crossover film. This crossover could feature the Autobots and G.I. Joe teaming up against the Deceptions. In conclusion, the G.I. Joe franchise has a promising future with the right movies, team and scenarios, and it continues to be a part of Paramount's plans. While G.I. Joe is on the verge of a reboot in the new Energon universe, courtesy of Skybound Entertainment, it's not the first time the franchise has attempted a reset. One of these forgotten iterations is the 90s relaunch known as G.I. Joe Extreme, which lived up to its name during the Extreme era of the 1990s. This reboot, spearheaded by writer Mike W. Barr and artists Tatsuya Ishida and Scott Reed, led to the release of two G.I. Joe comic series by Dark Horse, alongside a line of Extreme toys introduced in 1995. The initial 4-issue miniseries was followed by a full ongoing comic series, although it was cancelled after just 4 issues. The toy line managed to have 2 seasons of a new cartoon series, but it was discontinued due to low sales and fan interest. However, this forgotten piece of G.I. Joe history can serve as a treasure trove of ideas for the new G.I. Joe canon. Set in the near future, G.I. Joe Extreme follows a specialized squad of soldiers battling the forces of Scar, that soldiers of chaos, anarchy and ruin, led by the formidable Iron Claw. The new lineup included characters like Lieutenant Stone, the fearless field commander, Sergeant Savage, reminiscent of Captain America, and World War II soldier brought out of cryogenic freezing, Black Dragon, a ninja from Hong Kong, and Mayday, a skilled soldier and pilot. The comic series introduced additional characters not seen in the cartoon and told a slightly more sophisticated story. In the Energon universe, which merges G.I. Joe with Transformers and Void rivals, the franchise's story is truly starting anew. As the Energon universe kicks off its latest storyline with Cobra Commander and Duke, it's a world where G.I. Joe and Cobra haven't yet formed. Their formation is driven by the arrival of the Transformers on Earth and the arrival of the dangerous Energon element. This presents an opportunity to include the 90s G.I. Joes in continuity, possibly even as their own team. Introducing more extreme rivals for the traditional Joes could enrich this expanded universe, which already features deep cuts from Transformers lore. Skybound now has the chance to release a new connection of the Dark Horse G.I. Joe series, featuring artwork from acclaimed artists like Jerry Bingham and Frank Terran that has remained unseen for decades. With Skybound's publisher Robert Kirkman hinting at the unexpected, a revitalization of this near-forgotten 90s reboot could be just the thing the G.I. Joe franchise needs. With the Energon universe gaining momentum, perhaps G.I. Joe Extreme will finally have its moment in the sun. The storyline from the 90s G.I. Joe Extreme could potentially be explored in a future G.I. Joe film such as G.I. Joe 4. The introduction of these extreme characters and the unique dynamics of G.I. Joe's Extreme's worlds could provide an interesting twist to the existing G.I. Joe cinematic universe. The film could follow the elite squad of specialized soldiers battling the forces of Scar and their leader, Iron Claw, while introducing characters like Lieutenant Stone, Sergeant Savage, Black Dragon, and Mayday. Incorporating this storyline would offer a fresh and different angle to the G.I. Joe films, and the 90s reboot's unique elements could appeal to fans of the classic G.I. Joe lore as well as newcomers to the franchise. It would be an opportunity to revisit the forgotten aspects of G.I. Joe history and bring them to the big screen, providing an exciting new direction for the cinematic universe. The introduction of other characters like Crystal Ball, with potentially supernatural abilities, to the G.I. Joe universe could indeed add a fascinating and unexpected dimension to the otherwise grounded stories. While G.I. Joe traditionally started as a team of military operatives with specialized skills, exploring supernatural elements like Crystal Ball's powers could present an enticing opportunity. It would be intriguing to witness the Joes facing off against a character who might feel like a Stephen King villain. As the Energon universe era of G.I. Joe stories unfold, the possibility of Crystal Ball's appearance remains uncertain, and fans will eagerly follow the new series to see if such unique characters become part of this revitalized G.I. Joe world. The inclusion of characters with supernatural abilities could open up new narrative possibilities and breathe fresh life into the franchise. And that's what concludes today's video. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for the next one. Feel free to share your suggestions for future videos in the comments below.